Okay guys, I am back, cleaning up the trash, and so we already took a quick look at this cable, but let's open it up here for you guys to see. Okay, so it comes colored, which is nice. Has the blue, I'm assuming, for left, and this one should be red. Yep, and this one's red for right. I'm assuming. Feels okay. It kind of feels like the type of cable you would get in KZ IEMs. Not too bad, but nothing that excellent either. So we'll put that to the side. I won't be using that, by the way. I will be using my Shure Bluetooth cable with these. Kind of like what I did with my Tin T2s and the FIO FA7. Okay, so it comes in this little HZ sound case. And let's see what it looks like. Oh. There's nothing in this little plastic bag, so I don't know what was supposed to go in here. Oh, it actually comes with cables already, so that's just an extra pair of cables. Looks like there's tips in here. Okay, so these are the foam. White foam, which I've never seen before, and a pair of black foam tips. These look to be, I think, medium, around medium-sized ear tips. Put that aside. Now this is what I am really interested in. Okay, so here's the left driver. Now this is supposed to have 5 balanced armatures, which you can see through the clear shell. Right there. And here's the right side. And just like the Shure SE846, the right side has that red plastic on the end right there. Okay, so far it looks pretty decent. Looking just for any cracks and stuff like that. Okay, I thought that was a crack right here, but it's on both sides in the exact same spot. So it might just be the mold. Okay, I want to see what does the nozzle look like. Okay, woo, there we go. So it does have a metal nozzle. But yeah, they look pretty decent. The main thing now is to just see what they sound like. Well, I guess the main thing is to see if they work, because I really hope I didn't get some kind of defective pair, or else I would have to contact the seller and get a replacement all the way from China, so it had to be a long wait. But yeah, I'll be throwing on some foam tips on this thing, and then I'll let you guys know how these sound. So I'll be back with some first impressions. Okay guys, I am back, and I'm actually quite really surprised on how these sound. Good news, these things work fine, they work perfectly. Doesn't have any problems for my first impressions, and even better news, these things sound absolutely amazing, especially for the price at around $100. These things sound a lot better than I expected. So just for a quick comparison, here are a pair of Shure SE215s, the standard and the legendary one dynamic driver earphone. These things cost about the same price. I paid around $100 for this because I paid the extra $20 or $30 for DHL shipping to get it over here faster from China. These things cost $79 with the Bluetooth, or $100 for the standard 3.5mm headphone jack. So these things cost generally the same price. But I gotta say, for $100, these things are one of the best sounding, if not the best sounding earphones or headphones I've tried at $100. These things sound incredible for the price. So, first thing, let's start with the build and comfort. It has that standard universal IM design, a little thicker than the SE846, if I can show you for comparison. Yes, you can see there's quite a bit more fat near the bottom. So yeah, these are heavier, thicker, but they fit just as comfortable as the SE846s, and they isolate also really well. Basically the same amount as this. So comfort, no issues there. So for the sound though, for a 5 balanced armature IM, these things actually have a lot more bass than I expected. And the bass it reproduces is actually really good. It sounds very similar as if I were listening to an earphones with a dynamic driver, except this one doesn't have one. The bass is very deep, very detailed, and it rumbles. Not overpowering though. There's a lot of bass in here, but I didn't find it to be overpowering, and it really made the music listening experience pretty enjoyable. I would say overall this thing has kind of a V-shaped tuning, slightly V-shaped, not as much as the KZ ZST Pros I have tried. No, the KZ ZS10 Pros, I mean. These things don't have as heavy of a V-shaped tuning, but it is somewhere in the same ballpark. The vocals also sound very decent, very crystal clear. Not as clear as my FIO FA9s, but I mean, these are $300 to $400 less than those. And the highs are also very crisp, very detailed, and I never found it to be sibilant, unlike the Tinti 2s. The soundstage was kind of narrow. It sounded just like the SE846 in terms of the soundstage. Nothing too wide, but it was decent enough. But what is really good on these is the imaging. Imaging is absolutely incredible on these, just like my FA9s, and it's pretty good. It's better than the SE846s, just by a little bit. These also have pretty decent imaging, but not as good as these DIY earphones. But yeah, basically when I did the direct comparison between this and the 215s, I was playing the same song, comparing them directly, switching them right after another, and instantly I can tell these are a lot more muffled, not as clear as these DIY earphones. And these things sound almost as good as the really high-end earphones I've tried. I would say these sound, this might be a bold statement, but I actually like the sound of these more than my FIO FA7s that I have tried. Yeah, these things are just really incredible. Not as good as my FA9s, which is to be expected. I don't promote any counterfeit products, but I guess technically these aren't counterfeit products. They don't have the logos. It's not saying anywhere that it's part of Shure company. These are just DIY earphones inside of a Shure look-alike shell. But I purchased these from Aliexpress. These are 5 balanced armatures for around $92, and these things just sound really incredible for the price. And yeah, I'm actually really glad I purchased these. It was a bit of a risk on my end, but in the end, I think it is well worth it. I might do a full review on these later on if you guys are interested in these. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.